You know that saying, fake it until you make it? My version of that, except for reading your first Pynchon novel and then making a book review about it, is realize that you know nothing, panic, do 10 hours worth of reading on the subject, panic, delay, and then make it. Hey, beautiful people of the internet, my name is Ryan, and today I'm going to be reviewing Thomas Pynchon's famous novel, The Crying of Lot 49, and also, hopefully, not making a fool of myself. As always, there will be 3 parts, and then at the end, we will say goodbye. We'll part ways. Possibly for days, possibly forever. Because what if you never find your way back here? The internet is a big place. Let's do it. Okay, first is the basics about the book. The Crying of Lot 49 is Thomas Pynchon's second novel. It's more of a novella, really. Published in 1965, this copy comes in at around 140 pages. Pynchon himself described the weird length of this book as, quote, a short story with a gland problem. And right there, his weird but good description of the book tells you everything you need to know about the descriptions in the book. They're interesting, alive, quirky, but with a truth to them that'll keep you nodding along as you read. I mean, at one point he describes the sea as, quote, the whole left by the moon's tearing free, and monument to her exile. The basic story is this. Oedipumas is the unhappily married middle-aged woman who is going through the unhappy day-to-day of her life when, out of the unhappy blue, she's forced to adopt a role that she doesn't want to. An old lover of hers has died and he has made her the executor or executrix of his will, and she has to sort through his enormous assets. She proceeds to have all kinds of fun, sometimes hallucinogenic fun, along the California coast, and even runs into my favorite fictional band, the Paranoids. But on this journey of hers, she keeps accidentally encountering a conspiracy theory about a secret organization that has been around for centuries called Trastero. Except, is it really an accident if an outside force keeps directing her to running into this organization? And is it really a conspiracy theory if it's true? Dun 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 dun! So actually, for this book, the question of why people read it is an interesting one. There are a few obvious reasons, like the fact that this is the shortest and therefore supposedly most accessible novel of Thomas Pynchon's, and so a not significant amount of readers, when they've been hearing about his name for, I don't know, about the last 50 years or so, they pick up this novel when they want to give Pynchon a try. And second, I've only talked about this in basically every book review that I've put up on the channel, not that it's a big deal to me, not that it's something that I focus on all of the time. Thomas Pynchon has a little bit of a crazy writer persona going for him. Seriously, Google it. And personas sell books. And third, this book is taught as a really key text for a lot of classes on postmodernism, like sometimes maybe even the most important text, for reasons that I'm going to talk about here in a second. Okay, second, how did I personally experience it? How did it feel sitting there to read it? There's a really central moment in this book where, and this is not a spoiler, don't worry, where Oedipumas comes face to face with a painting, an actual painting, by the way, a painting that represents very clearly her situation and the basic concern of the book. In the painting, there are women who are locked in a tower, and they are weaving a tapestry that, as it leaves the tower, forms the world. So take that image of an inaccessible place that is creating the world as we know it, and compare it to another popular image in the book, that of the projector at a planetarium. This diagram of an inaccessible place and its tapestry or projection has everything to do with one of the biggest questions of the book. Is my experience dictated by an outside force? Is the world, is my life actually this chaotic? Or am I being controlled here? Is my life a woven tapestry and a beautiful set of constellations? Or is it a set of random threads or a random set of stars in the sky? This is the question that has me wanting to reread this book already, and has me wanting to have some answers about my own life, to be clear. My personal experience with The Crying of Lot 49 was this. I knew every step of the way that I was reading very well and getting a lot, but also missing things, because this is a tight novel that you could reread for years and maybe never completely understand. Now, take all of the work that we just did, including the 2 images which we just talked about, and compare it to this image. You or me reclining or sitting in a park or on a couch in 1970 or 2016 or 2065, reading this projection, knowing that we do not have access to the projector. If you've juggled all 3 of these images that we've just talked about, then you're on the right path, I think, for understanding the complex game that this novel is playing. P.S. That paranoia and that multi-leveled system on which it works reeks of postmodernism. Okay, so third and finally, should you exchange funds for the chance to hold a paper-fied or electrified version of this chunk of text in your hands. Let's skip past all of the fluff and the pretty words and talk honestly for a second. The Crying of Lot 49 is the single best example I have found in my short 23 years here on Earth of paranoia in art. Not because I felt paranoid, although I did, but because this book textually embodies, not that that's actually possible for text to embody, but anyways, it textually embodies the paranoia question that it asks. Call that whatever you want. Call it brilliant, call it bullshit, as long as we acknowledge the mechanism of how it's happening. And if it sounds like it's up your alley at all, or you have even the most fleeting interest in postmodernism, then buy the book. That is really all that I've got for today, y'all. I hope you liked the review. If you're interested in talking about it more, I am like 90% sure that we are going to hang out on Reddit this week and talk about it in a subreddit. But if you're not interested, then I could just hang out there alone and be paranoid that no one likes me, actually. Anyways, thanks for sticking with me. If you liked what you saw, there's a playlist down below where I've put many other book reviews, and I will also continue to do them in the future. So there's also a subscribe button down there somewhere. I will see you all soon, but definitely next Monday. Best wishes! Hello, all you beautiful people. Welcome to the internet. My name is Ryan, and I'll be your host for today's episode of Let's All Have Our Brains Destroyed by David Foster Wallace, aka my book review of his first novel, The Broom of the System. 2 quick facts for you today. I reviewed Lolita yesterday, and The Crying of Lot 49 includes a direct reference to Humbert Humbert. And for good reason. The second fact is that Pynchon either took or audited a class that Nabokov taught at Cornell. So, lucky dude.